Right, we're talking about training today. Do not be scared. It is pretty simple. I'm also going to show you ways of making sure you do it every single month, and a nice little way of making sure that you do not forget to do your training schedules for the month. I'm doing them, going to show you how I do them on a monthly basis, and then we're looking at implementing things that you use in your tactic as well, and making sure the ones that you select, the sessions you select, are vital, important, relevant to the tactics and the way you want your team to play. All right, boys, let's get into this episode. I appreciate it if you smash a like on today's video. Let me know how much of the training you do down below. I'll be interested to see you players, you viewers. If you're a new sort of like player, you've probably not done any training. You guys who maybe played for 20 years still maybe don't do any training. Let me know how much you do down below. I like to do, this is going to be using my Athletic Club York save, my main save on the channel, and I've been in charge of doing training now, and I'm going to show you pretty much how I do it from month to month. Right, here we are. So the first thing I want you to do now, my skin, by the way, this is Vin's skin, if anyone asks, because I get it on every video. This is the Vin's skin. Now, what I would like you to do, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to head to what's called the notebook, which probably a lot of you don't do. Now, in here, you're going to create a note. I've already done mine, all right? But create note, all you're going to put, capital letters, just put anything, training to sort out, anything you want. Put that in. Give yourself another note. I don't know. You don't have to put anything, but you might say, Matty, you are the best FM YouTuber. Right? This is the most important bit. So in here, select a date. Put it to the 1st of the month. Obviously, we're in February now, so I'm going to put it the 1st of the month, right? Select the date. Press set. Reminders every month. Press confirm. So that means now when you get to the start of every single month, you're going to get a message in your inbox. Now, for me, if we go back to the 1st, there you go. I get one of those in my inbox, Trakida reminder, training schedules for the month. So then that triggers me to dive into the schedules, right? So this is how I do it. Now, what we're going to actually do, we're going to use March because we're halfway through February, so we're going to do it as March. Now, as you can see, at the moment, it's set out all randomly with different styles and stuff. Now, the one colour that I want you to try and avoid as much as possible is these blues. I'll explain more why in a minute, but you want to ignore and try and make sure in your sessions you do not have these royal blues. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to head to schedule. Select a schedule, and you're going to create a new schedule. So it looks like this. Okay? Now, if you haven't seen my individual training video, I suggest after this you go and check it out, because there's 3 things to improve your younger players and improve if you're training players to develop new roles, improve on their finishing, their heading, their fitness, stamina, pace, whatever. You need to have 3 things in your training schedule. So what I've done is on Monday mornings, we really focus on our 3 things that help individual training. That is attacking movement, defensive shape, and then we go for a triple header of match practice. Those 3. So that's important. You're obviously going to then have generally games on a Saturday, so you're going to have a recovery. And then what I want you to do is completely leave the rest of it back. Press confirm. There we go. The next thing I want you to do is just save it. Press OK. Head back to your calendar. So we're in March. And then we're going to go here. So where it says training style technical, all we're going to do is custom schedules here, and we're going to press my custom, and all we're going to do is we're going to go through the full month. Now, the reason why I do it a month in hand is because generally you've got your fixtures. Now, you'll always have fixture changes in terms of, cancellations, cup games rearranged, all that sort of thing, especially in the second half of the season. But generally a month in hand, your games are normally in, and it gives you the opportunity to tweak things. Now, what it automatically does for you is that, as you can see, when you've got a game, it automatically gives you a match preview, and then you've got your recoveries the day after. Now, this is how I set up mine. Number 1, you've got to think about how you play. At the moment with this York City save, we're quite aggressive in the tackle, where we're trying to replicate a sort of like Marcelo Bielsa. So a lot of our stuff is fast, it's quick. We're not playing too direct. We're trying to pass through the middle. We've got a congested middle of the midfield, so we're trying to pass through the lines. So when you're doing your sessions and you're looking at what sessions you're going to do, make sure they're relevant to what style of play you're doing. So attacking wings. At the moment, one of my tactics, we're not actually playing with any wingers. We're playing, I'll very quickly show you the tactic. That's what we're rocking with at the moment. Okay, so no wingers. So it doesn't make sense. If I left it to my assistant manager, no doubt during training, he would put in attacking wings. Absolutely pointless, because majority of the time we're only using our fullbacks who kind of get forward. So, you know, attacking patient probably is better, because we're looking to work things into the box. We've got a lot of sort of like fluent play with Mazzalas. We've got 2 attacking midfielders who are roaming from position. So maybe attacking patient would be the right idea. Now, defending wise, for me, defending engaged, if you click on it, it does give you a session dedicated to engaging the opponent when not in possession. So something that's very useful. And another good one, especially if you're wanting to defend and press from the front and be aggressive, is defending from the front. So there you go. Now, it's important that you do not fill up the full week of 3 sessions. And then what you also need to make sure you do is just give a little bit of a variety of different things. So I tend to do it on a 2 weeks, because we've got these copy and paste buttons. So what I tend to do is do the same thing for maybe week 1, and then week 3, and then week 5, and then alternate for weeks 2 and 4. I don't do it, if I see something in the previous game, I don't necessarily go over and change things. And, you know, if we've had a bad defensive performance, say on the Saturday, I don't then go in and change everything. I just try and keep things varied, but I try and make it all relevant to the tactic. Now, the ones that I told you to stay away from were the general, the royal blue. And that's because, like, these sessions, and if you leave it to your assistant manager, this is what your assistant manager will generally put in. He will put in a lot of these sessions here. I only use 2. Goalkeeping and physical. I try not, because obviously our players are working very hard. They're also playing and every Saturday and sometimes in midweek. They don't need a lot of physical. But I think it's important to at least have one gym session, as we call it. So I may put a physical in, royal blue, once a week, and that's it. The other one that I may do is goalkeeping. I often do that on a Friday, because it's generally prioritised. Goalkeepers want having a little bit of shooting practice and stuff with the goalkeepers on a Friday isn't going to hurt your players too much. And then fill up the rest of the weeks. Just go through every single week. You know, set pieces is always a good idea. Vary them during the week. So I might do 2. You know, things like defending set pieces, attacking and defending corners there. We've had a physical session there. And then here, so I may give them a little rest there. We might even put in, and what I also like to do is make sure sometimes instead of a rest, we'll go in and give a extracurricular, either a community outreach. I'll alternate that. So it'll be community outreach. This week would be the other one, which is team bonding. And then just make sure during the week you've covered as much stuff. So, we might look at attacking shadow play. And in here, ball retention. We're really key on our possession. I really want our possession stats at the team to be really good for my York City save. So ball retention is obviously a good one. And there we go. That's the week done. I would make sure you just try and limit how many times you train. 3 times, 3 sessions. Obviously, different training sessions are going to have different varies in terms of intensity. Different sessions and different days you're going to be worked harder than others, so just be careful of that. As I said, stay away from the blues. Now, the main reason why I said stay away from the blues is because it's too overall a holistic session where the players put a small amount of work into every area of the game. So imagine each session's an hour long, say. Look at the amount of stuff they have to work on. It's just very unrealistic, and also I don't think your players are going to get much out of that in terms of just having a training session rather than sat on their ass. Same with some of the others. Outfield, it's too broad, it's too varied, so ignore general unless you're going to just do a goalkeeping session or a physical. I think a physical session's good because it kind of covers all the other things, and also there's only those physical attributes, so I think that's quite important. Match preparation we've done there on the Monday, which we said is very vital for individual training. And then what I tend to do is just copy it, and I'll paste it into week 3, and I'll paste it into week 5. Now, there's a little bit of change that needs to be made. Obviously here, we're playing Hartlepool. So what I may do is just make sure during the week here, before I set up rest of the sessions for the rest of the week, what I tend to do is just make sure that we've got not a full session. So match preview's already there. Remember, the game automatically puts it in, but then what I may do is just at least take one of them out. So we might say, I think if you're going to choose one for match preparation, a little match practice session the day before, I don't think, and then have a rest in there. I don't think it's a bad way to go, and then you can fill it once again. I would look at the other sessions you've done and try and vary it. So we've done a little bit of defending from the front, defending engaged. So if we're going to put, obviously we're going to have a recovery in here because it's after the game. So let's have a little recovery session there, and then just a team bonding. And then we've still got we've still got Thursday. We can go full ahead. So we maybe have one of each. Attacking overlaps would be good for us because we're playing quite narrow. We're asking our fullbacks to get beyond, so attacking overlaps would be good. Technical sessions. Chance creation is big for us at the moment. We're quite good defensively, but we're dominating the ball in terms of 55-60% possession, but we're not creating any chances. So just go through and, chance conversion if you're having lots of shots, something like that would be good. Or more if you're like me, we're not creating as much as I would like. There you go. Get it in. Transitions as well is a massive one. Where was it there? I'm sure I saw a transitions. Transition restrict. Transition press. That's vital for us and how we're playing, so that's one that I imagine a lot of you will be playing sort of like high line of engagement, high press, gegen pressing kind of tactics. So having things in like transition pressing, defending from the front, etc. all fits in. And then what I tend to do is maybe just copy it again, paste it into week 4, and then I will just go through and tweak things. So we'll get our full, very important Monday sessions, get that individual training up. Remember, check out the individual bit. Remember to check out the individual training video, and then just go through things that you haven't done. We haven't done a physical. We've not really done much, so you could do another defensive shadow play and just try and vary it. And I found this the best way of keeping players happy. Now, you will not keep all the players happy. What it's important to do is to listen to your players. Now, at some point, no doubt, the players will tell you if they're not doing enough of. Normally for me, because at the start of this, when I started doing it, because we were Marcelo Bielsa and everything was aggressive, I was trying not to overwork my players during the week in terms of physical sessions. What I was doing was a lot of technical stuff, a lot of defending stuff, but we were missing out the physical session. So they were doing no actual sort of like physical work, but the way I saw it was they were doing physical work because they were training. However, a lot of the players, I think 5 or 6 of them, came to me and said, we're not doing enough quickness work or something. It was something along those lines, something in the physical attributes. So what I've done is it's made sure that I've added a physical session, and that has completely gone. I've not had any whinges about my training for 3-4 months now. So there you go. All I want you to do is remember, number 1, get into the notebook. So you find it on your own manager profile. So go to profile here. Oh, it's there, notebook. Set a date so you don't forget. The start of the month, you then need to make sure you have your custom schedules. So head into training, schedules, create a new schedule. Remember, Monday, get your match preparation, defensive shape, attacking movement, match practice in there. Very important for individual training if you're looking to develop your youngsters. Look, this is what happens when you're reserve or your manager or your assistant manager. So this is now April. Look at all the blues in there. Look at all the blues. Outfield session is just a full session training. Like, it's too much work. And it's also very unrealistic. I don't think any manager, I don't think Pep Guardiola will go out on a Monday morning and say, right, we are going to try and improve 30 different attributes today in 1 hour session. So 1 attribute for every 2 minutes. It's not realistic. I don't think you will see a great improvement either because of the amount of attributes that need to be worked on in that session. I think the increase and the improvement is going to be so small. So try and narrow down, try and focus, think about how you want your team to play. If they are having a week or a couple of weeks, maybe not. Don't do it based on a knee-jerk reaction of seeing one game. Maybe if over a period of time you've seen things that you're not happy with, either defending from the front or you're poor from defending crosses, etc., dive in and maybe have a full week of it. Full week of defending set pieces. If you're struggling defending set pieces, even though you've set them up properly, you might have to put extra set piece training in. Good exercise as well if you're going to put set pieces in, because it doesn't take up a lot in terms of physical attributes. Have them on days where you're having a full day of it. So if you have got 2 sessions here, look, what I would do is use that as a day to do set pieces, because they're already having two sessions there. Alright boys, that is it. Hope you've enjoyed it. Just a little video to show you how I do it. I try and keep things realistic-ish. I've not dived into the game itself, apart from I've done a lot of reading on individual training, but I just thought this was a good way to do it, I do training in my York City save, as I said, because I'm trying to make sure we get the best out of our players. They learn the tactic that we're trying to implement, and we're also trying to develop those youngsters as well that are coming through the ranks. So having, you know, it's arguments to say how much training improves your team, but I think if you can get that extra 5-10% out of your regens, your wonder kids, by doing your own training, and it's also a bit of fun. I really enjoy and get the satisfaction out of going in and designing my own training sessions. I don't think you can do a lot wrong. Try and stick to what I've said. Keep to the guidelines. Keep to a varied session. Think about what your tactic is doing and what you're wanting to replicate out of it. And remember, if the players, even if you're doing something really bad, your players will let you know with an email, or they'll come to you and say they're not happy with the amount of physical training or whatever. So they will tell you when they're unhappy. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Smash a like on today's video, muchly appreciated, and we will see you very soon. Cheers, guys. See you later.